What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on AP2 Squared, where we try to inspire you with more passion for your art journey and my own art journey as well. This is Abel here. It is my pleasure to go right into this episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing the part 2 on how to basic color composition. Today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you guys all the good and the bad things that I've encountered through my journey to make this video. So it's going to be a great thing for you, and obviously it's going to be painful for me because I'll be sharing some of my flaws and defects right in front of you guys. And hopefully at the end of this process, we can have something that we can feel proud of and enjoy it all through the process. I want you to look at this picture that I draw not too long ago. It's a composition that has similar, harmonious color grading, has a background, character, and all that good stuff. This one is a little bit challenging because it's too much information, I think, but I am going to work on something smaller. And speaking of smaller, when I saw my art piece, I was like, why not make another art piece of my owl? There's this little lovely owl that I've been drawing every now and then. I was like, maybe it's time to give it a little bit of protagonist moment, and so that's what we're going to be doing. As I did my search on what kind of artist I would like to learn how to blend colors, I found this great artist. Her name is she goes by Lois. What I like about her is how she uses color in a very harmonious way. Sometimes you would see that she has different color tones, but at the same time, it's still, it looks overall harmonious, and that is something I am very eager and inspired to challenge myself, and so I'm gonna go with that. Now that we've found the reference from which we want to do our, art piece, let's talk about environment. And this is going to be the next stage of our art process. Environment, in my opinion, sometimes dictate the colors that you are going to be working with for your entire art piece. So, because it's a basic process, I wanted to make things easier. And what else than actually looking for another artist that has better experience than you and me in blending colors, and go with something that I really, really resonate with. This is the environment that I want to work with. It's safe to say there are many ways of picking your color palette. Some would like to, right from the beginning, pick your own color palette and work with it. The challenge of that is because we are in a basic stage of doing art, not always you know how to combine cold and warmth colors, and when it should reflect what kind of color. It just gets very complicated. So trust me, for this process, try to resonate or identify yourself with an artist. Okay, now we're going to the third stage, which is closely examine our artist's way of applying colors, because all I have to do is learn from their technique.
3,600 seconds later.
So I'm going to do 3 different sketch compositions, and I am going to be looking for a sketch composition that really makes me feel that I can invest most of my energy on that one piece. Every choice, it's very important, because at the end of the day, you're going to be taking time to finish this process. So for me, something that I often like to do on my paintings is giving myself a story, something that it's entertaining for me, but also can be entertaining for the audience. So, I was trying to work that out, whether it's like as you can see here on the first and second sketch, this companionship or conversation or whatever, and or just like the last one, it's just a story between the owl and whoever is looking at the owl. That's what I initially thought about. Doing sketch in grayscale, it's a very good idea. I recommend you to do it, because that way you can simply focus on 2 things: depth and also highlighting where exactly you want to focus on when you're composing. And after deliberating a little bit here and there, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go with the second choice, specifically because kind of like the interaction between the older owl and the younger one. Maybe it could be the mother owl and the baby owl. So we're gonna go with that. And a good way of being simple is by starting color grading your background. Backgrounds are very important for your art process. With the background, you get all the spectrums of color, shadows, light direction, and reflecting light, and all the things that you need for your main character. The environment will give you that information. And the strategy for this video is we go first with the background. So let's work first on the background. Alright, now we have established the background, and as you could see, something looks off. And that would be, our main characters, because obviously everything has color except these 2 cute, friendly creatures that we are working with. But there is also something else. I've noticed once I start to focus on the little owls and the big mama owl, they don't really look like an owl. So I went back and looked at the references, and this time I devoted more time in making them look as similar as possible, fixing their postures and whatnot. Unfortunately, even after I did all that, I felt like it still needed a lot of work to look as a real owl. This is the part where my mistake or my flaws are coming out. And the truth is, I don't draw owls every day, and they are not coming easily on my, muscle memory. So, I have to accept that and observe a whole bunch of owls, and spend more time looking at them and understanding their features and the anatomy and whatnot. Yes, it sounds like a little bit overwhelming, but I chose this, and you choose what you have chosen for your art project. And this is why I told you from the beginning, when you make choices, Make sure there are things that you are connecting very deeply with, because if not, you're gonna give up and you're gonna like move on and never see the final product of that. And that is not what I am about. So let's go and let's push through. Don't forget this next part of the process, and that is take some time. I'm gonna take a break, I'm gonna step back, and I'm gonna come back after I appreciate what I have accomplished, because sometimes you deserve that. You deserve to know that you've done very good process and very good progress in your own art journey.
3,600 seconds later.
In this case, I am doing one at a time, obviously, because I don't want to overwhelm myself. Yes, technically they could be of the same color, but doing it in this way, I just feel less stressed. Playing with that, trying to get that contrast of shadows and lights. Now, some honorable things worth mention on this video is, number one, we didn't devote so much time explaining you why did I pick the colors and how did I ended up putting them together on the background. All the informations that we need, it's already there. Where on the art pieces of, you know, great artists. All we have to do is develop good skills on observing why they put the color where they put it, and how do they, you know, project light source and shadows. What colors do they use when they are, you know, portraying shadows and shades, and what colors do they use when they're projecting light and highlights. That doesn't mean I don't have some things to share with you from my own perspective. I particularly like to do ream lights and would like to get better at doing ream lights. And the ream light is basically that part of the contour of the object that you're drawing that ends up having like strips of lines of bouncing light or light source from either the sun in this case or somewhere else. Sometimes it bounces off of a material that it projects back to the character, or sometimes it's just direct source. And I'm gonna take focus on this small owl, this beautiful cute little creature, and I'm gonna start off first defining where the bounce light is, and then after I get that done, I'm gonna, you know, make some ream light. And the ream light is like these white strips that it's going around his head and a little bit over his shoulder. I have two sources of ambient light. One, it's bouncing off of that yellowish, orange-ish artifact that it's right in front of them, and the other one is coming from the light source. So different colors and obviously different angles. Part of doing art is that you have a story, and only you know the story that you want to say. And that means not every single corner of your art has to be fully rendered. Just learn how to experience or experiment on, you know, rendering certain things just enough that it's communicating what you need. That is what I'm trying to do here. I can easily look at my reference and my chosen artist, and with that as a guideline, I can say, okay, well, how much detail do I need to do on this area, or how much light reference I have to, or how much light influence I have to do on and such area. If you pick a reference, make sure to pick something that you know that has enough information for you to answer yourself throughout the process. Luckily, I think I've chosen 2 great references, and for me it just made things much easier because I felt every time I was doing a stroke, I felt confident all the way. All that it's left to be done is, you know, working some details on the light, and here is the final result. Guys, if you have enjoyed anything of what I've shared on this episode so far, please make sure to leave a comment down below. I would look forward to read whatever you have to share with me, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you don't miss my next video. This is my pleasure to be on this journey with you guys, and hopefully we'll meet again on our next episode. Take care and stay curious, my friends.